What's up, wrestling fans? We're back with another episode of Wrestler Geeks. I'm your host, Justin Shaw.
I'm the fox that rocks, Black Fox.
All right.
Alrighty then.
Finally, after a long hiatus, it feels good to be back in the studio.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Yes,
All right.
indeed. And not only that, this is our first time. Well, don't want to say first time, but
No, this is our first. It's our first show covering the subject we're covering, AEW.
not AEIOU, All Elite Wrestling. So today we are going to cover AEW's Full Gear pay-per-view, which happened on November 9th, 2019. Let's start off the match with the pre-show of Be Priestley versus Britt Baker. The match during the pre-show of the Full Gear pay-per-view.
I'll let you cover this one. Your opinion?
This was a great match. B. Priestley was nailing on Britt Baker without hesitating. I like how the promos and the interviews between them two were building up to this match.
Yes, they told a good story, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. I have to say that I definitely liked the offensive that each one of them showed during this bout. It was definitely it was fun. It was actually it was a good thing. It was a good match, I can say. It was fairly decent. Yeah.
I was really glad to see B. Priestley in a match in AEW.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of B. Priestley. I remember watching B. Priestley before it was defunct Defiant Pro Wrestling, WCPW, also known as What Culture Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
Then later on, it transitioned from Defiant, which now, sadly to say, is now defunct.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a good thing. Had a good thing going for it.
Yeah, especially the backstory comedic scenes at the time, but they're let's not get off track. But
right.
I always enjoy the matches with B. Priestley. She's a great wrestler, a great heel. I would love to see her more in matches in AEW besides the pre-show.
Well, I'm sure she'll get her opportunity. As I said, it's still a new thing. This is the second pay-per-view?
I think it was the third.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the very
this is the third one. Okay. Yeah, I'm making sure.
Yeah, because I remember the very, 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 very first one. It had Tessa Blanchard in a match.
Yeah.
But this was the first pay-per-view. Was it All In? Was it All In?
Yeah.
It was the predecessor. Excuse me.
It's all right.
Of
no problem.
AEW, which I thought was awesome. She did win the match eventually. So let's just leave it at that because we got a lot more matches to cover up. Now for the main card matches in AEW's Full Gear pay-per-view, which was first match, Santana and Ortiz versus
the Young Bucks.
This was an awesome match.
I will say it right now. My close friend, I mentioned Silver Queen. She is a big fan of Santana and Ortiz. I liked them when they were in TNA as well under the other X-Men, but now they stepped out. They're doing their own thing here on AEW, and it's against, of course, the Young Bucks. You gotta give it to them.
Yes.
This is one of the things that I think that when everybody compares AEW to WWE, this is one of the stronger points for AEW, their tag team wrestling. That's definitely one of their highlights on it.
Yes.
I'm not taking away nothing from WWE. I won't take anything, but I'm just saying in this kind of circumstance, AEW's one of their strongest strengths is in their tag team wrestling and the stories that they tell with it, and
their promos.
Yeah,
their promos. And me personally, I just want to add real quick. What I like about AEW is they basically have the wrestlers that I want to see, that we both want to see.
Right.
I mean, come on. We got the Young Bucks. We got the Lucha Brothers. We got some of the members that were formerly known from LAX. We got Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky and SCU, and a lot of great wrestlers. Sean Spears, John Moxley, which we'll talk about shortly.
Yeah, no, as I said, that's a definite thing. So, like, I've also taken some notes. So we are in a now digital age, ladies and gentlemen, so we've upgraded as well. So, my opinion, like, as I said, from the Young Bucks versus Santana Ortiz, I have to say, like, one of the highlights that I definitely enjoyed was, well, one personal one I liked was the Northern Lights suplex that Nick did. Nick, was it Nick or was it Matt? It was Matt. It was definitely Matt. It was Matt who did the Northern Lights suplex on. He did like a triple, and then he did on a double on both of them. That one definitely was one of my personal favorites. And
to me, everything happened so fast.
Yeah, well, that's another thing about it. It was like fast, hard hitting. You gotta say that it was definitely one of my personal favorites for the Young Bucks, and they could definitely showcase. They could take punishment. They can showcase maneuvers, and I think like another one of my personal favorite highlights was the Rock and Roll Express. You can't take another away from that.
Oh yes. For some weird reason, I don't know why, I often get them confused with another tag team from WCW. I don't know why. I don't know why. I have to just let this out. Yeah. I always get them confused with the Fabulous Freebirds.
Well, I mean, that's how it was back in the day. Don't even worry about that. But another highlight I saw was the point where Nick was about to go for their spike, their signature, but I saw a little bit of a fault, like on a botch. I don't know if it was a botch or not, but like I definitely did see as he was going for it, he basically fell off wrong way, injured himself a little. But the match continued. Santana and Ortiz, I'm going to take it. I will say it now. They definitely did their thing. They were like the heels going into this bout. They were fantastic. They did good job separating. They were countering. They were taking blows, hitting it. And I definitely loved their counters as well to it. And in the end,
regardless of the outcome, this was a great match because both tag teams actually, how should I say?
They told a great story.
They not only told a great story, but I like how both tag teams were competing against one another. Like they actually, how should I say this? They actually, both tag teams actually worked as a team. For a minute, it felt like I was watching like a video game fighting match. Like I don't know if you remember playing Marvel versus Capcom or Rival Schools.
Yeah, of course.
Like they were both
switching in and then switching out. But
not really switching in and switching out, but they were really, each of the teams were actually, like contributing.
Yeah.
They were actually, working. They were working as a team. Both teams were working as a team, which is what I really liked about this match. Unlike some tag team matches, it's always like one wrestler goes in, does his thing, and then when he starts getting tired or beat up, he tags his tag team partner in, and then when the tag team partner gets tagged, he does his thing, gets beat up. But this match with Santana and Ortiz versus the Young Bucks, they worked as a team, not individually.
Oh,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but that's most tag teams. But in this situation, for what it's worth, this was a great match in the sense that, not like you said, it was a full team effort.
Yes,
both members
that's what I was trying to say.
It was a full team effort for both of them. But the thing about it was, both came out looking strong.
Yes.
Like, in the end, also, by the way, Santana Ortiz, they won the match.
Yes.
Not only did they end up basically showcasing that, they're here. They are definitely here to take on everybody. Defeated the Young Bucks as well. Also, that ending match where they were showing how brutal they were being towards the Young Bucks, till of course, the Rock and Roll Express came in, saved the day. That I thought was a great
spot. Not the Fabulous Freebirds.
No, Rock and Roll Express. They showcased that. That was awesome. I have to say that definitely I loved that. Both teams were great. Definitely good spots. Both came out looking tough and strong. And even though the Young Bucks won, they still came out not looking weak, but looking still strong as well, especially towards that finish. That was a great match. Congratulations, Santana, Ortiz.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I thought this was a great match.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams, regardless of the outcome, they both made a great team effort. And this is what I call a tag team match. And I look forward into the future and seeing more tag team matches like this in AEW.
All right, so next up.
Next match is Pac, formerly known as Adrian Neville. I'm not gonna.
I'm
not gonna say his.
Yeah, we'll keep it. I mean, I think that's still PG, but that's what his tag name is. But I understand. We're gonna call him Pac. Fine, we're gonna go with that.
Pac, whatever. Formerly known as Adrian Neville versus Hangman Adam Page. The only thing that I could think about this match is Hangman Page doing his, famous moonsaults. Yeah. There was a lot of hard hitting, a lot of flips, a lot of suicide dives. This was an entertaining match.
Yeah, in my notes right here, I have basically that, one of the things I have to say is Hangman pulled off a lot of athleticism. This is something you see in some of his matches. He was definitely more aggressive, I can definitely say, because this was the rubber match. Both of them had one win apiece off of each other, and this was the third match going into it. And I gotta say, Pac was definitely. I'm not trying to compare him to what he, as I said, we're not trying to compare to what he was in WWE, but you can definitely tell in this going into this, he is more free. He's more not constrained to the type of things he was in WWE. That's one of the great things about WWE.
You can actually tell the way he wrestles now, which I think is a good thing.
He was more methodical than he was even when he was in the cruiserweight division. But you got to say it, he was going in. He was countering. He was hitting some good spots, I got to say. And I also like the fact that Hangman Page was also as well able to throw out and dish out a lot of damage as well. One of the things I like the most is the ruthless, those ruthless kicks that he was going in through the ring post, just kicking and kicking and kicking. And those really look like they hurt. They were doing damage. And I gotta say, my personal favorite spot is the kick he did when Hangman Page tried to do the lariat right off. He flipped. He did it. He managed to catch him square in the jaw. I liked it. I love it. Your opinion?
Like I said, this was a great match, but all I can remember is when Hangman Page did his moonsaults and Pac's hard hitting, a lot of forearm strikes. Pac was giving to Hangman Page. I like the fact that Adam Page has a lot of he has kind of that high flying, strong style, of wrestling. Yeah. It's interesting how he caught Pac in that weird finishing move that he does. He carries his opponent.
I'm trying to remember, it was the Deadeye or the.
I think it was the Deadeye when he carries his opponent like a book bag and he just drops him upside down.
No, that was definitely. I have to say that was it was a good counter, especially because we all know he was trying to hit him with the arrow and everything. I used to call it the red arrow, but now.
It was called the red arrow, then he changed it to the black arrow.
Yeah, so the fact that he managed to he kept on trying to catch him with it, and, couldn't nail it in the end.
Nobody was in the pool.
Okay.
That's what the commentators say whenever a wrestler jumps off the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, I know. I know. Gotta love JR, though, nonetheless. But I have to say, though, I'm glad that, Hangman Page was the one who won this, and I like that they're trying to build him up. I definitely think he's gonna definitely be one of the main contenders to challenge the champion, the will be champion. We're not going to go into that just yet. So, if anything else, congratulations, Hangman Page.
Yes,
I know this is
Hangman Page.
I know this is in the end of Pac. It's definitely gonna continue somewhere or another.
You know what I think? Before we move on to the next match, being that it's probably gonna continue into a rubber match, it should end as a grudge match, but it should end like in a hardcore style. Not necessarily a hardcore style, but it could be like a ladder match.
Definitely, I could definitely see something.
I don't want to say a chair match because there's one wrestler that we're going to talk about shortly that the chair match should only apply to. But
yeah.
Anyways, congratulations to Hangman Page. I look forward to seeing him in action in AEW.
Okay.
So the next match is the chairman, Sean Spears, formerly known as Ty Dillinger,
Yes.
Perfect 10, versus
Joey
Janela.
All right. I gotta say, I'm happy with what they're doing with Sean Spears.
Me too. I like his new gimmick.
I do too. I definitely think that it's definitely something fresh, something like he can do with. No, not here. Not here. This is AEW now. That we call, if anything, we do chair things for the chairman.
You seen his T-shirt when he enters the ring?
Yes, but let's also add the fact that it was. Let's also add the fact that he was also accompanied by Tully Blanchard.
Yeah, that got me puzzled.
No, it's a good thing. It's definitely having.
I understand it's a good thing, but it's like what is he doing with Tully Blanchard?
You need somebody from what? Tully Blanchard's he was great back then.
No, I know he's great back then. I remember him in WCW.
Yeah,
WCW.
well, yes. Yeah, well, he was also known in other areas as well, but like.
I don't know.
It's
It's
just
like
a thing. Remember, it's a thing that basically.
it's cool, but to me, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, what is Sean Spears doing with Tully Blanchard? I don't mind it, but to me, it just doesn't make any sense.
It definitely, well, for what it's worth, I don't know what AEW is doing exactly with it, but it's telling a good story because how do you think he won? He won it with the help.
Yeah.
Especially with that spike towards
But
the end.
I do like Sean Spears' ring entrance. I think it's cool. I think it's unique, and I think it shows that he doesn't care. That he kind of has. I don't want to say. I know he's a heel, but he's more, anti-authoritative.
Well, I'm still watching how this is going, but I do like the fact that Joey. I will say this. I will take nothing away. We're talking too much about Sean Spears. Joey Janela also put up a great fight. This was definitely one of those wholehearted bad guy.
I like Joey Janela.
Yeah, I know you do. I definitely know.
No, because I remember before he went to AEW, I've seen him. There was an episode. Remember I told you about Hollywood Wrestling? There was an episode of Hollywood Wrestling where they brought some of the wrestlers from CZW, also known as Combat Zone Wrestling.
Right.
So I believe he was wrestling a wrestler from Hollywood Wrestling for one of the CCW belts because they actually had a CCW official. And not to mention back then, he had a really cool retro ring entrance theme.
Yeah. Well, as I said though, but for the current match, for what it's worth, he put up one of those great fights, and towards the end, you kind of see him taking it, doing what he can. You're thinking, you're given this idea, oh, he's definitely gonna be able to pull off a victory, and what happened? Tully Blanchard got involved, and you know what? That spike towards it helped him win. I gotta say that, definitely, I feel bad that he lost, but
me too. With the help of Tully Blanchard.
look, that's what they're going for. I'm interested to see how far this is gonna go and what they're gonna do. As long as it helps Sean Spears, I know Joey Janela is gonna bounce back from this. Definitely,
I
definitely see him.
I think this match, this grudge between Sean Spears and Joey Janela, it has to end in a chair match. You know how in WWE TLC they always have
that chair match. Well,
they should have a chair match in AEW with Joey Janela and Sean Spears. And I say this because Sean Spears, the chairman, he's always coming out hitting people with the chair. And Joey Janela, with his background from Combat Zone Wrestling and being that he's one of the hardcore wrestlers in AEW, why not AEW?
Well, as I said, you never know. We don't know how they're going to do it. I'm waiting to see more from this. I definitely don't think this is over. This chapter isn't over.
I don't think this chapter is over yet, especially the way how it ended with the help of Tully Blanchard.
I definitely agree. I definitely think that there will be something, a payoff to this.
Yes.
We guys gotta look forward to see. But again, congratulations, Sean Spears. I'm glad you're doing better in this, especially. I look forward to seeing what the AEW does with him.
The match was a perfect 10.
Oh my God. Okay. No.
All right, I'll let you talk about the next match.
All right. Private Party
versus
the Lucha Bros versus SCU, a triple threat
I didn't bring my party cup.
for the AEW Tag Team Championship. I have to say that, you know what? As I said before, AEW does a good thing with their tag teams. This was definitely one of the. I will say, while it was not it was not the same as the tag team between Santana Ortiz and. Oh man, wow! I just talk about the Young Bucks. Definitely, it was still three powerful teams. You have the Lucha Bros showing in their luchador, high-flying, hard-hitting style. Phoenix was phenomenal with some of those shots he was delivering. Like,
I'm a huge fan of the Lucha Brothers, of course.
And I am glad for SCU. It sucks that I really wanted Daniels to be in this, but
you didn't see what happened?
No, I saw what happened. I'm just saying I still wanted Daniels to be in it because I knew him and Kazarian. It's definitely a definitely, what is the word?
A downgrade?
No, not a downgrade. What do you mean a downgrade? Did you not see what they've done?
No, I've seen what they've done. As a matter of fact, I gotta give much respect to Scorpio Sky.
Yeah.
His wrestling has improved ever since he started wrestling in AEW. Because I know he used to wrestle in Hollywood Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrestled with, he was part of SCU when he was with Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels in Ring of Honor.
Right.
But me personally, his wrestling has improved since he went to AEW.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, definitely. And
it has improved. He's done a lot of, high flying. He's another high flyer, hard hitter. He does have a background in MMA.
Okay, well.
I did like the outcome.
Well, yeah, because they're still, that's another thing. Well, first off, let's talk about the whole situation between, also, let's not forget, Private Party was also there. We're not going to forget about them. They were definitely in that. They definitely had some good spots as well, But the whole point of the whole thing was, it was a great tag team match.
Yes.
I am glad with the outcome. The whole thing is I don't see them basically, they have the belts now. They're not going to let them basically lose it right away. I definitely think they're going to try and...
Private Party has the belts? I thought
No, not Private. SCU has the FBCU one. I'm saying that SCU having the belts, they're not going to let them basically... They're not going to give them away so easily. I think it's going to be more of a one-on... For the next person who becomes the new AEW Tag Champions, I definitely foresee it being more in a tag team, one-on-one format. Basically with two teams against each other instead of a triple threat.
I like what happened after the match.
Oh,
when there was a Pentagon Jr. doppelganger or clone or imposter, which turned out to be Christopher Daniels, which I thought was really, really cool. But based on what happened, this is what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what happened with Christopher Daniels, the injury that Pentagon Jr. did to Christopher Daniels.
Right.
I think there should be a match between those two.
Mm-hmm.
Pentagon Jr. versus Christopher Daniels. I don't care what's the stipulation. It's AEW.
Right.
The stipulation could be anything, but I want to see a match between Christopher Daniels and Pentagon Jr.
Well, that could definitely happen. I definitely see that in the
To me, it has to happen.
It could. Yeah, well, definitely. I see it more on an episode of Dynamite. Definitely, maybe even AEW Dark. You never know. But for now,
that's also a dope show.
Yeah, of course. We got two plugs. Anyway, honestly,
because even the dark matches in AEW are awesome.
Yeah,
hands down.
Definitely. Congratulations to SCU for retaining their AEW Tag Team Championships. I know that definitely there's going to be a fallout. I foresee the Lucha Bros and SCU feuding once again it's going to come down to that because they do have unfinished business, especially now that Daniels is apparently back. And we got to see how that's going to go. So.
All right, so we're almost out of time, but I want to thank everyone for watching. Please feel free to email me at shawjustin576@gmail.com.
And currently, right now, my email is going through some issues, so I can't really say what it is. I will have a new email available when the time is coming. I shall keep you all informed as well. But nonetheless.
All right, so fans could just email me.
Yeah, for now, just email my partner over here.
All right, so this is the end of Wrestler Geeks. Have fun, be safe, and don't get into any fights. We'll see you next time.